Has it started? Yes. Hello, it's me. As you can see, I did my makeup today, and I'm going to tell you what I used. I used the Kat Von D palette for my eyes. I used these three colours because I'm wearing this. I've probably worn this 100 times before, but anyway, I used these three shades. Then I used this one on my what's it called? The little bit in the corner. This bit. I don't know if you can see. But anyway, I did the line above with a brush. I used this brush. I don't know what it's called. The angled detailer. It's a really thin brush to do the line above my eye lash, and then I left a little space at right there, and then I filled the little corner, the tear duct, with the colour in the middle. They're called Melancholia. I don't know. Anyway, so it has colours on it. So I use the Transition, Mezzanine and Hybrid Moments to do my eyes. I think those are the colours. Oh no, maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, I used the purple ones. Did not use the white as the base. I used these three. And I like those, so that's what I used. On my lips, I used the NYX Rose Brown to line. I used, to fill, I used Burt's Bees. I used the Watermelon and the Peony, Burt's Bees lip something, shimmers. And on top of that, I used the Burt's Bees lip gloss in Sweet Sunset. And that's what I used for my lips. And on my, I've probably really buggered up my nose, the contouring. Eyebrows, I used the normal thing that I normally use. I used the shimmery thing on top, which is called, the Sephora Micro Smooth Eliminator. I used a brand new Happy Booster Physicians Formula baked bronzer for my cheeks, and also used the Physicians Formula brand new Glow and Mood Boosting Blush. That's the blush, and that was the bronzer. And on my eyes, I used my very favourite mascara, which was this one that I love, the Double Extend Beauty Tube Mascara L'Oreal. This is my spare. I used today to do the foundation, I used my Pro Makeup Blender sponge, the one on the end, which is called the Olive, I don't know. Anyway, I used that to blend it in, and I used my big brush as well. And I used different bronzers foundations today, and a powder to set it. And on my eyes, I used that mascara, and then I used my two fibers and the magic gluey thing for the fibers. Anyway, I liked it. I don't like what I've done to my nose, of course, because I still can't get that right. Don't know why I'm trying to contour it, but I'm trying to make it look smaller, because it's so huge, and I'm not going to get plastic surgery on that. Talking of plastic surgery, I didn't have my appointment on Wednesday because they cancelled it, they postponed it. That was my 2-week appointment. They postponed it because there was an emergency. They postponed it on Monday for an emergency that was happening on the Wednesday. So, you know, plastic surgery emergency, which is what? Oh, my nipple fell off? I don't know. But I'm only using the thin tape on my eyes. On my eyes? on my incision, because I'm getting very itchy with the glue underneath the tape. So I'm constantly scratching, and I have a band-aid on the back of my foot because when I work out on the treadmill, it kind of scrapes on the side for some reason, and so on the back actually, and so on the side I noticed it was getting itchy because I have to put on a new band-aid every day, and it was getting itchy, and I took it off and there was a red welt underneath the band-aid where the band-aid sticky part had been, and so I took it off, and it's been off for a few days and it's still red. I'm not going to show you because it's just red. So I'm thinking maybe something's going on with my hips. My belly button's looking different. It's looking like it's healing, but it's purple, so I'm using the Scar stuff on it. Scar Away, I think it's called. And then I'm, but not every day because I'm not. And then on my left hip, I've taken some like pictures on my phone to show the doctor on Wednesday, because it's on Wednesday coming up, and I've done like half screens, split screens of before and after, and obviously the tummy looked awful before, but the hips look normal before, and then after I've got this, and it looks now like it's a swelling. It feels really like thick and hard rather than this side, which is just spongy. This side is kind of hard and bulbous, so it looks really weird, and so I'm going to show him that. Very little sensation still, feels really weird, and yesterday I was doing my nails, and my tummy really hurt afterwards from sitting up in the chair. I mean, this is like 6.5 weeks post-op, and it sitting up felt like I'd been with a big piece of, like, I don't know, cardboard, and then bending it a little bit when I'm painting my nail, and then it feels like there's a ridge. Well, I mean, it doesn't feel like a ridge, but it looks like a ridge when I'm sitting, because it's all spongy and stuff. I don't know if this is to do with the fact that I'm working out, so almost back to normal, or not. Okay, as far as my workouts are concerned, Friday, a week ago, I started weights, and I did the stuff on my tummy. I can't do all of them, so I try and do what I can. I do it on the bed, the tummy part, the abs part, and I do a very tame version of what I used to do before on the tummy. The rest of it, I'm back to normal. I've done it last Friday, then Monday, Wednesday, Friday this past week, and I'm back to normal with that. I'm up to 100 minutes on the treadmill every day, which feels great. I mean, it doesn't feel bad. It doesn't feel, I mean, I'm tired and I feel a little more exhausted afterwards than I normally would, but you know, I'm doing them so late in the day, that's probably not helping, so I should go back to doing them in the morning. What else? The everything else seems to be like progressing. My cousin, who has got Marfan, has been in the hospital, in and out of the hospital, but more in than out, since spring, I think, of last year, 2014, not this year, last year. In and out. In January, he had pneumonia, double pneumonia, and was rushed to hospital, almost died. They kind of prepared the family for that. And then somehow he managed to survive and left the hospital. Then he was back not long after. He's had a leaking valve since last year, and because he had an infection, they couldn't, they had problems, and they were trying to find a way of dealing with this, but he kept on getting infection after infection with the infection he had in his heart, I think. Not heart, I don't know. He had an infection. They were trying to deal with that. He became allergic to the steroids. He became very red. When we were there last summer, he was very red, and he was peeling. His skin was peeling, and he was itching, and he was in hospital, and he came out, and then he went back in after we left. So then he went back in January. Then he was back in. He was on the verge of being taken to... Oh, I've forgotten the name of the hospital. Anyway, it's the heart hospital. Forgotten what it's called. But they couldn't, because the surgeon who was going to do the surgery had been called away overseas. So one day the team went and said, we've got to do it now because he's going to die if we don't do it today. So they did the repair of the leaking valve. Then they had to do it again. And then they had to do something else. They had to give him a tracheotomy. Anyway, long story short, he's been home this weekend. He has to have oxygen. National Health is going to cover the cost of the oxygen at home, the electricity for the machine and all that. They've given the machine. He's going back today. Tomorrow they're going to reevaluate. Tuesday they'll decide if he can go home. He was almost dead and he's going home. It's incredible, fantastic news. Anyway, so excited about that. Oliver had his appointment on Thursday for his chest, his pigeon chest problem. God, this is all medical! Anyway, he went to see a doctor that I've seen, the pre-op one that I had to see just to make sure I was fit to have surgery, who told me I could start working out the week after, and I was like, what? My surgeon has told me I can't. Anyway, so he has got a heart murmur, so he has to see a doctor this coming Wednesday. He's having an ultrasound. I think it's called an echo. Anyway. But he's also going to be fitted for a brace for his chest, because in the old days they used to do surgery to correct the pigeon chest, because his chest is kind of like this, but it's kind of leaning to that side. So he gets out of breath. I mean, he doesn't get out of breath, but he takes deep breaths, and I've always wondered why. And that's why, apparently, because of the formation of his chest wall, it's like pushing against his lungs because it's coming out in a V. Anyway, so she's going to call me either tomorrow, Monday, or Tuesday to figure out if he has to see a pediatric thoracic surgeon or if she can get the advice on how to fit him for a chest brace. That's brilliant. Anyway, not so brilliant about the heart murmur, but Billy had one when he was little and he's outgrown it, so he no longer has to avoid caffeine, although he still does. Tell you about my haul for this week. Not much really, other than my thongs. I'm not going to show you them anymore because it's like boring. I got these three colours. They're OP nail lacquer. One is called the, I don't know what it's called, Mod About You, and that's this one. The other one is called, why don't I look at the top again, Sweet Memories, and that's this one. And the last one is called Princess's Rule, which is this one. Now, I've done mine. I had to like file down my nails because they were getting so long, and since I've been painting them, they seem to be doing really well, and so I have to file them down instead of them breaking. So I put the usual, like the what's it called? The nail intensive therapy for soft peeling nails. This by Nail Tech. I put this on first, 2 coats of that. Then I put the filler, because I've got ridges on my left thumb, which is this one that I've shown you before. Then I did a coat of the shimmery one, which is called the Princess's Rule. I did that one, and I thought, well, it didn't really look good on the clear stuff, so I then put a coat of the Sweet Memories, 1 coat. Then I put 2 coats of this, and then I put 2 coats of the nail hardener, which is also by the Seche Vite one, which is the rapid one, the dry fast top coat. Dries your nails, even with all those layers of nail varnish, it dries your nails really quickly. Just don't put like your nails like scratching them or anything. But I didn't ruin any nails, and I've got millions of coats of nail polish. But look how smooth they look. I mean, they don't look like they've got ridges. Well, this one doesn't look like it's got ridges. They look great. The colour's not bad. I mean, it's a little pale pink for my liking, but maybe if I did a darker coat underneath the Princess's Rule, it would be alright. But in the meantime, I like the colour. It's not bad. When they kind of start to look a little bit tatty this week, I might put one of these colour changing things on top just to make it last for the weekends. Because really, I do them once a week normally. When they get about halfway to 2/3 through the week, I like to put a different colour on top because they start to look like not as shiny. I suppose I could put a top coat. They don't really chip or anything. It's just that it starts to grow out, and you can tell even in a week it starts to grow out, and you can see it. So I put another coat of something on top just to make it look and last for a week. Sometimes I've actually had them last 10 days. Not bad, eh? Not bad! But I don't I've had one manicure once because for a birthday, Wade bought me a massage, and I have acne scars on my back, and I don't want strangers touching my back because, you know, I'm the only person on the planet with acne scars on my back. But of course you feel, and so instead I got that changed for a hair something wash or something, or I got that was it. I got highlights. The only time I've had highlights in a salon. Oh no, twice I've had them. Once here and once in England, but it was on the American Base. Anyway, and so she did my nails, and she didn't even buff them. She didn't even polish them. I do that myself, you know, not now, but in the old days I used to buff them and polish them. She did nothing. All she did was do a stupid, she took whatever and she just painted them, and that was it. Didn't even like file them or anything. Although I don't like the square tips. I've never liked square tips. I've always done this round, well, not rounded, it's more pointed than rounded. But she did nothing. She just painted them, and I'm thinking, a massage in that for a freaking few highlights and nails, really? Ugh. I didn't realise how much highlights cost, because when I did them here, I had some highlights, and Holly got whatever was left, which wasn't much. She got one highlight. It's so expensive. Another time I went in to get a quote on my hair when it was about this length, and they said it was going to be like $300, and I'm like, you know, I don't really need to be spending $300 on that when I could spend it on footwear. That stuff that I told you, the Neutrogena face cleaning, the makeup stuff, it is so good. The other day when Holly and I did our I didn't put the video up because Holly and I didn't like the video, but I did her makeup, and then I took her makeup, she took her makeup off with this stuff, and I thought, oh, I'll try it, because I usually use other stuff. 2 wipes, and it all came off. Everything, even the eyelash thingies, all came off. Anyway, just now, I was putting some of this on, because I put a little bit under my eyes there. And this bottle was full. Can you see how much is left in there? It fell on the floor, on my carpet. Yes, I've like put paper towels on it and stood on them and stuff, so it looks like it's come off, but I'm sure it's still all in there. It's very, very, very orangey yellow because it's jojoba oil, so it's very orangey coloured. Anyway, this has gone on for like too many hours. I'm going to stop the video because that's enough. That was my update. Nothing really different going on here. It's about the same. I'm sort of at the same point, even though I'm exercising. I'm so happy to be exercising because I'm that obsessed. Yeah, anyway, that's it for today. I'll see you again next week. I hope you enjoy the makeup look. I quite like it myself. I think it's quite nice. Not bad, not bad. Can you see it without the glasses on? With the glasses on? Anyway, like the nails, like the makeup. Thank you for watching. If you watched, thanks. Oh, this nose looks awful. Bye. Bye. I have to stop it. Oh, I'm using my Samsung pad. It's 12.2 inches. I love it. I watch my stuff while I'm treadmilling. Oh, bye. Bye. Bye.